Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Papermint from CZT Sandy Hunter. This is very cute. Very cute. All right, I'm going to start off with 4 corner dots and a border. Okay. And if you don't know about the 4 corner dots and the border and then the string and the rest of the 8 steps in the Zentangle method, or that there's a Zentangle method at all, there is. And I highly, highly encourage making sure to take, I call my class Zentangle Essentials. Others will say, Zentangle 101, beginners, etc., etc. And I do have one. This is January, and there's 5 Tuesdays in January. So the 5th Tuesday is when I offer it. That way I can offer it regularly, and and it's just nice. So anyway, check out my website. Link is in the description. Click on the link tree and you will find that. All right. So this one starts off with orbs. It is just orbs. Okay. Let's just put a nice big one. Let's see if I can make it match. No. Okay. That's how my orbs go a lot of times, but it's okay because the next step is this. We're going to put some lines, and watch this disappear. Oh! So we're just going to put some little lines around, going into the inside. And then after this, the next step is rounding. So one of the things I like to keep in mind is that you don't want them too close together, because then it makes it harder to do this next step. And so if you don't know what rounding is, it's a tangle enhancer. And again, I still have a little bit of smudge there. This will finish taking care of it. So rounding is you're rounding off the corners and then just fill in. The trick that I wish I had a great trick for it, except to go slow and carefully, is, I'm going from one line to the other line, and see, I always end up with stuff like that. But worry not if you get that too, because we can tidy things up at the end. Sometimes I end up with, it's just too thick. And let me just look again at Sandy's, because I just had a thought. I wanted to, okay. One of my thoughts was, well, you could just do C shapes around the edge, and that would be one stroke. But this is kind of nice this way. I do like, so this isn't doubled up, because if you did C shapes, it would look different. These would look thicker. So this way you can control and have just as much fun as you want with these. But like I said, and I a lot of times will think take off and land. And take off and land is like you're tracing over one portion and then tracing over the next portion. Then I know this is so small. It's hard to see. I'm trying, I was like, I'd like to leave it so it's like a gap. But hey, if it's not, that just saves time of filling it in. There you go. You can kind of see that opening there. And this, it's a tangle enhancer, so we use this. I don't use it enough because it is such a neat effect. And sometimes you just might want to have it just be a little bit thicker, in one place. There we go. Then next and last step is at the end of each of these lines that we initially drew, just going to put a dot. This is the other reason, don't want them too close together, because you still want to have room to put those dots in. And doesn't it just look neat? It really, really does. So what you can do with this, it's a great fill-in, and do take a look at the For More Inspiration link. I'm going to just draw some more. We're going to fill in this section. I'm going to try to make them big. Well, I'm going to have some little ones too. I take that back. Oh, let's go out, yeah, underneath the border like that, because that's fun. I forgot what I was going to say. It happens. Maybe one just here. Another one underneath, yeah. Like so. All right. So while I have fun filling these in, I don't think I finished my thought. Make sure to go take a look at the For More Inspiration link in the description section so you can see Sandy's step out and, and read, it's always fun to read, either the inspiration, the thoughts behind, stuff like that. And she has a good tip because you can see, I read a lot, but she does have a tip. Oh, okay. Wait, so she's talking about if you do all of your circles at once, then all of your lines, then switch pens for the swoop. Oh, so if you're using a smaller, nib pen for your rounding, then you're switching back and forth. But it's an up to you. And a lot of times I should read more, but I get swept up into the tangle, and sometimes they put some interesting tips in there. I'm just using the same pen because I like using the 01. But that is a thought here. Let's just demonstrate. Let's see. No. Oh, well, here's an 00. Here's my 003 that I just bought because my 005 that I have handy is bent a little bit. Look at how tiny that is. So you could, let's do it right here, just to show, because that makes it a little bit easier to have things match up. And so it is a great point. And completely up to you. I like this 003 though. Just for those just in case times when you really, really need something small. I don't know, that might work better. But I also like to show things like this because if you don't have a bunch of different nib pens, I like to make sure that everybody can do it. And then you see what comes along. It's just very cute. And then too, I'm not worrying about, okay, what does my orb shape look like? Because it just adds character. All right, so I was having this thought on shading, and I think, you could do it a couple ways. One, and actually I'm looking at Linda Farmer's, and that's kind of cute. And I wanted to let things dry. Oh, let me do it on this one because this is more dry. So you could, with a little graphite, right on those dots. And let's see, oh, it doesn't really matter. You could say like this, bring it in one side and just leave that pencil line the way it is. So you end up, with this a little bit thicker. That's kind of cool. Something else that I was thinking is, and this might take a little bit more, but if you were to put a little graphite, let's just do it on the one side. This might be, depending on how big it is. Well, that doesn't look too bad. You might want to just use like what's left on your Tortillion. But you could do, and you know what? We could do both, depending on how long your lines are. And it is kind of fun. I'm having a little darker on one side and then just using what's left on the Tortillion. It's completely up to you. Whatever you want to do. I think I like this. Let's add it to here and see what happens. And because we're bringing it in, to the inside of this circle, then we don't have the graphite remorse, but it makes it look even more bendy. That's my technical term. Ha ha ha. So like these are folded out where that, is not necessarily. Up to you, however you want to do it. Totally fun. Totally fun. All right. And then, in the background, on Linda's sample on Tangle Patterns, which I will put both links in the description section. She has in the background, it's one of my favorite tangles called Therefore, and it's just 3 dots. It's a mathematical argument. So it's a mathematical symbol anyway. And it's just so neat. I might put some of those in there, but, or you could fill in the whole background if you wanted to. It's completely up to you. Or maybe littler orbs that you don't fill in with, that you don't make papermints. Up to you. And that is what is so fun. So as I finish this, let me also, I mentioned the description section. And again, I always do my own version of the tangle, of the step out, and then link to the creator of the tangle. Also, and I did mention my link tree. So that has links to connecting with me. So website where you can follow my blog, Facebook page where you can, follow for postings and classes and whatever other fun stuff I end up putting on there. Also, if you happen to be on Facebook, we have an amazing group of Tangle addicts in our group page, our community page. So if you'd like to hang out with a bunch of Tanglers, we would love to have you. So click that link as well. And also with that, there are 4 questions to answer. I just like to make sure you're aware. And what else is there? I have a bunch of other stuff there, other ways to follow me for classes. So if you don't happen to be on Facebook, I do teach regularly on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I do 2 sessions each of those days. It's always the same content, just different people, and it's the even more fun if you come to both. And we do have a good number that do, because we do have a lot of fun. So that way that it's regular. On Thursdays, it's always free. I call those sessions Tangle Time. You'll see the descriptions on my website. But so if you wanted to even just set a calendar, or something like that, for the free classes, I do put those links on the website. So, and you'll notice, it's every once in a while I forget to change the date when I update it, but generally, as long as that date is, the current date, then that link is also good. Because I try to do them both at once, and usually I end up doing it right before the class. Sometimes I'm really good and I do it right afterwards so I don't forget, but the note is the date. Then I have another free one that's on the 3rd Tuesday of the month, and that is called Tough Tangle Tuesday. And as the name describes, that's what we do, is tough tangles. And tough can mean a lot of different things. Sometimes it's just, it just takes a lot more focus. Let's see, if I did this all the way, we'll pretend it's really big and it's going outside of there. But anyway, so those are regular. I like to have things on regular dates just because it makes life so much easier. But we'd love to have you join us. It's a lot of fun. And then the other ones are paid classes, and you can see the types of classes. I do my best to make sure to have whatever's coming up next, at the top of that page, so that way you see it. All right. So what else of interest as I'm just filling this out? I think that's it. Everything there is pretty much self-explanatory. I do have to make one change because I do the two other places to look at classes it's Eventbrite and Meetup, and I need to just like put the word classes on those links so that way if you're not familiar with those platforms, then you know. And they're both free. It's just if you happen to be already on there and want to connect, then you can. All right, so I think that's it. And look I'm nearly done. I think I'm going to do the back in maybe in gray. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. Or I might just leave it. I don't know. But what a fun tangle, right? What a fun tangle. And and two, because a lot of times we use orbs as fillers or whatever, but this is just a really neat additional thought when we're adding orbs, that we could add them maybe a little bit bigger and just add this in the inside if you have orbs that are big enough. It's just very cool. I think it's neat. All right. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.